Hi everyone, I hope you have watched the previous videos. Let's start the session. Which of the following has the highest calorific value? Which of the following has the highest calorific value? So the answer is fats. Okay, fats provide more energy than the carbohydrates. The reason for this is the amount of oxidation that takes place as these compounds are converted to carbon dioxide and water. Calorific value is nothing but energy released by a particular group of food or molecule on complete oxidation. Okay. What is the full form of AM regarding radio broadcasting? AM full form is amplitude modulation. Okay. So the answer is D. AM means amplitude modulation. Okay. And for this explanation is about it's related to the electronic communication, most commonly for transmitting information via radio carrier wave. In amplitude modulation, the amplitude of the carrier wave is varied in proportion to that of the message signal being transmitted. Okay, amplitude means the signal strength, we can say. Okay, which color is the complementary color of yellow? Which color is the complementary color of yellow? The answer is blue. Okay. Complementary colors are pairs of colors which, when combined or mixed, cancel each other out by producing a grayscale color like white or black. Okay. Complementary colors may also called as opposite colors. Okay. Modern color theory uses say that the RGB additive color model or the CMY subtractive color model. And in this, the complementary pair are red, red cyan, green, magenta, blue, yellow. I'll write it down here. Red, cyan, green, magenta, blue, it is yellow. Okay, these are called complementary pairs. Okay, complementary pairs. Okay, during washing of clothes, we use indigo due to its. So the better option is here the proper pigmental composition. Okay, indigo is nothing but a dye. Okay, dye that does not uh, bond strongly to fabric fibers, and washing will fade it out. Okay? Adding indigo in the water, use it to wash blue colored cloths, will add to the color density and reduce the perceived fade. Also, some white cloths can yellow over time, right? So, a slight blue tint would help mask this yellow shade of the white cloths. Okay. So the answer is proper mental composition. The energy stored in what spring is. So everyone knows this. It's a common repetitive question. So the answer is potential energy. Here, the energy stored in a spring is potential energy. Okay. The spring does not have kinetic until it is released and starts move. Okay. In other words, the spring is allowed to move in a regulated way. That's why in the spring the energy stored is potential energy. Okay. The sensation of weightlessness in a spacecraft in an orbit is due to. So the answer is acceleration in the orbit, which is equal to the acceleration due to gravity outside. Okay. The sensation of weightlessness in a spacecraft in an orbit is due to the acceleration in the orbit, which is equal to the acceleration due to gravity outside. Okay. There is the unit of. The name itself says it's the answer of B, that is heat. Okay. The potential energy of a system increases if work is done. When the work is done by the system against any conservative force, the potential energy increases. So here the answer is option A, by the system against a conservative force. Okay. A pond of water appears less deep due to, everyone knows that, right? Refraction, due to the refraction. A pool of water appears to be less deep than it actually is because the light rays from the bottom of the pool are bent away from the normal as they pass from the water into air. Okay, this makes the pool appear shallower than the it really is. Okay, so actually is the when the light rays pass from the rarer to denser, so the light ray in the denser medium is towards the normal. If it is the light ray from the denser to rarer, it's away from the normal. Okay, we'll write it down here. Suppose this is denser medium, it is rarer. Let's consider this is normal. Okay, if the light ray passes like this, okay, in the denser, it is towards the medium. So sorry, normal, towards the normal. Okay, suppose we take from denser to rarer. Okay, the light ray from the denser to rarer, it is away from the normal. Okay, so this is how the diffraction works. Okay, the oldest type of energy known to man is, the oldest type of energy known to man is, so everyone knows that it's a geothermal energy. Okay, geothermal energy is heat generated and stored in the earth. Okay, Geothermal energy has been used for thousands of years in some countries for cooking and heating. Okay? Energy that is produced commercially from coal is called. The answer is thermal energy. Thermal energy is an example of kinetic energy as it is due to the motion of particles, with motion being the key here. Okay. Thermal energy results in an object or system having a temperature that can be measured. Okay. Thermal energy can be transferred from one object or system to another in the form of heat. Okay. We always see the same phases of moon because we always see the same phase of the moon. It's because it takes equal time for revolution around the earth and rotation on its own axis. So the answer is C. Water pipes in hill areas often burst on a cold, frosty night because it's due to the water in the pipes freezes and on freezing water expands. Okay. So the pipes will break. So the answer is B. Okay. A parachute descends slowly, whereas a stone dropped from the same height falls rapidly because it is due to the large surface area of the parachute coming against the force of gravity, and hence it comes slowly, while the stone is having smaller surface area, it comes quickly. Okay, so here the answer is a parachute has a large surface area and air resistance is more. Okay. Which of the following instrument is used to measure humidity? So the answer here is sling psychometer. Okay. You can see in the image. Okay. Yeah, psychometer is a type of hygrometer, a device that measures relative humidity. Okay. A hygrometer uses two thermometers. One is dry and another one covered in a fabric saturated with the distilled water. That's called wet bulb. Okay. Air is passed over both the thermometers, either by a fan or by swinging the instrument, as in a sling psychrometer. Okay. A psychrometric chart can be there to use to calculate the humidity by using the dry and wet bulb temperatures. Okay. The type of mirrors used in the headlamps of car. The type of mirrors used in the headlamp of cars. That is parabolic concave. Okay. The headlamp's parabolic concave mirror is open on one end and the light bulb is filament is placed near the focus. Okay. Parallel light rays, if they were coming into the headlamp from outside, would converge near the filament of the light bulb. Okay. The reason for a swimming pool to appear less deep than the actual depth. We have discussed before, right? So the answer is refraction. Alternating current is converted into direct current by rectifier. Okay, so here the answer is option D. A rectifier is an electrical device that converts an AC to DC current by using one or more PN junction diodes. Okay, so here let's say AC current is alternating current. So the rectifier, by using the rectifier, it's convert direct current. Okay, that is DC. So okay, by using the rectifier, we can convert the alternate current into direct current. Okay, which of the following is most elastic? It's most repetitive question. Everyone knows this, right? It's a steel. Okay, you may get confused between steel and rubber, right? So steel is more elastic than rubber because steel comes back to its original shape faster than rubber when the deforming forces are removed. Okay, so the answer is when a person walking in bright sunlight enters a dark room, he is not able to see clearly for a little while because it's due to the fact that in bright sunlight the pupil of our eye is small. So when we enter the dim light room, very little light enters our eye and we are unable to see properly. Okay. After a short time, the pupil of our eye expands and become large. Okay. More light then enters our eye and we can see clearly. Okay. Yes, so here the answer is option D. The iris is unable to dilate the pupil immediately. Okay. The swing of a spinning cricket ball in air can be explained on the basis of it's on the basis of turbulence caused by wind. Okay. So here you may get confused with the option D, right? So you may think that option D also right. But here the Bernoulli's principle does not explain the swing of a cricket ball. Okay. Bernoulli principle can only be applied to a narrow domain of fluid fluid flow scenarios. Okay. Namely envisage steady laminar frictionless fluid flows. Okay. Swinging of a cricket ball, which is both unsteady and air also involved, right? Which is viscous and involves turbulent flow regions as well, right? So this is the prerequisites for applying Bernoulli's equation aren't met in this situation. Okay, we cannot use this here, the Bernoulli's theorem. Okay, here we use for Bernoulli's theorem should be invisible and steady laminar frictionless, right? frictionless fluid flows. But here in this case, unsteady state, right? Air also there, so it's viscous, involves turbulence. Turbulent flow, right? So these are the reasons we don't apply Bernoulli's theorem in the spinning a cricket ball. Okay. Why two thin shirts can keep us warmer than a single thick shirt in winter? Okay. Any object which resists heat is called a bad conductor of heat. Example, air, wood, glass, etc. all are said to be bad conductors of heat because they do not allow heat to pass through them. Okay. In a thicker blanket or a shirt, heat can easily escape through it, not providing better warmth. But when you take two blankets or shirts, then air gets trapped between the layers of the two blankets, and air acts as a bad conductor of heat, okay, which does not allow heat to escape from it. Okay, that's the reason here. So the answer is air layer between two shirts behaves like insulating medium. Okay, when a mass is rotating in a plane about a fixed point, its angular momentum is directed along. When a mass is rotating in a plane, okay, I will explain. So when a mass is rotating in a plane about a fixed point, its angular momentum is directed along a line perpendicular to the plane of rotation. Okay, this is the plane of rotation, right? So when a mass is rotating in a plane about a fixed point, here O is the fixed point. Okay, its angular momentum is directed along a line perpendicular to the plane of rotation. So answer is option A line perpendicular to the plane of rotation. Sound cannot pass through. Sound cannot pass through vacuum. Okay, vacuum is nothing but a area without any air, like space, right? So sound cannot travel through space because there is no matter for the vibrations to work in. Okay, so the answer is vacuum. Okay, in a photocell, light energy is converted into a solid state device that converts light into electrical energy by producing a voltage, as in a photovoltaic cell, or uses light to regulate the flow of current, as in a photoconductive cell used in automatic control system for door lighting, etc. Okay, so here the answer is electrical energy. Okay. Next one. A storm is predicted if atmospheric pressure. It's also a repetitive question. Storm is predicted if atmospheric pressure is falls suddenly. Okay. Drops in pressure also help indicate the strength of wind in a storm. As greater drops yields stronger winds. So lower pressure is associated with bad weather, high winds and rain or snow. Okay. So answer is falls suddenly. An egg sinks in salt water but floats in a concentrated solution of salt because the density of the egg is higher than the density of tap water and soft water, so it sinks. When enough salt is added to the water, the salt water solution's density becomes higher than the eggs. Okay, so the egg will float. The ability of something like the egg to float in water or some other liquid is known as buoyancy. We discussed before, right? So the answer is the density of salt solution exceeds the density of egg. Okay, so the option is C. What should a person on a freely rotating turntable to decrease his speed? Spread his hands outward. When a person on a turntable will spread his hands outwards, there will be an increase in the moment of inertia, hence the angular velocity of the turntable will decrease. Okay, so spread his hands outwards. Which of the following celestial bodies contain abundant quantities of helium-3, a potential source of energy? Okay. The moon has been bombarded with large quantities of helium-3 by the solar wind. It is thought that this isotope could provide safer nuclear energy in a fusion reactor, since it is not radioactive and would not produce dangerous waste products. Okay. Smog is a combination of smog is a type of air pollutant. We all know, right? So smog is a combination of smoke and fog. Classic smoke results from the large amount of coal burning in a area and is caused by a mixture of smoke and sulfur dioxide. Okay, the answer is smoke and fog. Which of the following circuit elements is used to block DC in an electronic circuit? So a capacitor also blocks DC voltage, but modulated DC has an effect on its plates due to partial charge and discharge action, and high resistance could dissipate DC to zero. So here the answer is capacitance. Okay. Spectacles used for viewing 3D films have polarized spectacles are used for viewing 3D films. Okay, so answer is B. Polarized 3D system uses polarization glasses to create the illusion of three-dimensional image by restricting the light that reaches each eye. Okay, to present stereoscope images and films, two images are projected and superimposed onto the same screen or display through different polarizing filters. Okay. A boy sitting in open car moving with constant speed throws a ball straight up in the air. The balls fall. The ball falls behind him. Okay. The value of universal gravitational constant G was first experimentally determined by. So the answer is Cavendish. Okay. The Cavendish experiment performed in uh, 1797 to 1798. Okay. By British scientist Henry Cavendish. He was the first experiment to measure the force of gravity between masses in the laboratory and the first to yield accurate value of the gravitational constant. Okay. A kilowatt hour is unit of kilowatt hour kilowatt hour is a unit of energy equals to 3.6 megajoules. Okay. So this is the unit of energy. Okay. Ventilators are provided near the ceiling of the room because ventilators are provided in the room at the top of the roofs, just below the roofs, because if the air inside the room gets hot, the hot air rises up and flow through these ventilators, and the cool air remains at the bottom, so that to relieve in the hot summers. Okay, so answer is to exhale warmer air rises up and goes out. Okay, the hair of shaving brush clings together when removed from the water due to it is due to surface tension. Okay, in severe winter in cold countries water pipes burst because I have discussed this before. Water expands on freezing. Okay, in the process of magnetization of bar, the entire bulk of the bar gets magnetized. Okay, in the process of magnetization of a bar, the entire bulk of the bar gets magnetized. Okay, a falling drop of rainwater acquires the spherical shape due to the surface tension. Everyone knows this, right? It's also a repetitive question. The weakest of all fundamental forces is the weakest of all fundamental forces is gravitational force. Okay. So gravity is the weakest of four fundamental forces. Okay. I will write it down those four fundamental from strongest to weakest. Okay. Strongest to weakest. Okay. The first one is strong nuclear forces. Okay. And the second one is electromagnetic force. And the third one is weak nuclear force. Fourth one is gravity. Okay, these are the fundamental forces ordered from the strongest to weakest. Okay, velocity of sound in air does not change with the change of. It does not change with the pressure of air. Okay, the density of a gas is maximum at low temperature and high pressure. Okay, here density means mass by volume, right? Okay, so when the temperatures are getting low, molecules are come closer within, so molecules mass of the gas is increases within the volume. Okay, even if we apply pressures, molecules are getting close, right? So mass also increases in this case also. So the answer is low temperature and high pressure. Okay, the cause for the tsunami as deduced by the seismologists is deformation of sea floor and vertical displacement. Okay, tsunamis are waves caused by sudden movement of ocean surface due to earthquakes, landslides on the seafloor, land slumping into the ocean, large volcanic eruptions, or meteorite impact in the oceans. Okay, so the answer is deformation of seafloor and vertical displacements. Okay, which one of the following wavelengths of light is more effective in photosynthesis? So here the answer is blue light. Okay, certain red and blue wavelength of lights are most effective in photosynthesis because they have exactly the right amount of energy to energize or excite chlorophyll electrons and boost them out of their orbit to a higher energy level. Okay, why is it difficult to breathe at high altitudes? When we breathe in air at sea level, the atmospheric pressure is about 14.7 pounds per square inch, causes oxygen to easily pass through selectively permeable lung membrane into the blood. At higher altitudes, the lower air pressure makes it more difficult for oxygen to enter our vascular system. Okay, it's due to the low air pressure. The strongest force in nature is, I have discussed it before, four fundamental forces from the strongest to weakest, right? So, the first strongest force in the nature is nuclear force. Okay. According to the theory of relativity, which of the following always remains constant? The speed of light is constant. According to special relativity, the speed of electromagnetic radiation is constant in a vacuum and remains constant regardless of from where it is being observed. However, everything else as, for instance, time and length undergo change instead. Okay, so here the velocity of light is remains constant. Okay, the spoon dropped by an astronaut in a satellite will. it will continue to follow the motion of the satellite. Okay. A colorblind person cannot mm, a colorblind person cannot distinguish between certain colors. Okay. So here the option is option C, right? Most colorblind people are able to see things as clearly as other people. Okay, but they are unable to fully see red, green, or blue light. Okay, there are different types of color blindness, and there are extremely rare cases where people are unable to see any color at all. Okay, the most common form of color blindness is known as red or green color blindness. Okay, okay, that's all.